What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, and I'm bringing you one hell of a versus. I already know who's gonna freaking win this one because one is clearly better, but they are both clearly pretty badass. So what I have for you today is the Case XX Bowie, and I have the what do you call it? The Timber Rattler Ranch King Bowie. So let's get into the leather first because it's a significant difference. Both are brown leather. This one's bigger because, well, the blade is bigger, right? One of them, this knife, the Ranch King Bowie, is over 16 inches. I don't know, but the blade is just a little over 11 inches, where this one has a 9.5-inch blade. But we'll get into that in a second. Right now, it's all about the leather. Both are attractive. This one has got this awesome weave pattern. This one has got the Timber Rattler stamped in it, and you'd think, wow, how can you decide which one's better? They're both really nice. Wrong. This one's thin, hard, and cheap. This is soft, heavenly, and beautiful. Aside from the cool little extra shape here, it's just overall a better built knife, sheath with better materials. This one's very very cheap, but it looks good and it gets the job done. We're gonna go and give that one straight to the Case. Now here we are with the two knives. Look at the polish on the Case compared to the Timber Rattler. Completely different. Now I don't know if you remember when I did this knife, we went over the fit and finish. Fit and finish, let's just get it out of the way. Perfect. There isn't a single flaw, fit and finish, on the Case Bowie. This one, fit and finish issues all over the handle. I mean, just all over the blade. There was uneven grinds. There was even a step here that I had to grind out. The blade came down and then went up and kept going. And I had to actually take that out, which I shouldn't have had to. The blade held up well to testing, but it shouldn't have had to be filed down to where it's going to be straight. So here we have True Sharp, right? That's their that's the steel that this is. True Sharp. I believe it's like a German stainless, high carboned, beautiful, shiny, awesome, sharp and strong steel. And this is pretty strong, not too shiny, but that's okay. But it's just like a plain Jane stainless steel. I put these things through the same testing, and you can see the wear on this blade is very minimal, and I use this a lot. I use it a lot more than this. This one, all I did is test with it so far. I haven't really done much with it, and you can see scratches all through this thing. It just doesn't hold up as well as this. Is it bigger? Yeah, it's bigger. It's got a couple inches on it. But you know, they say size matters. Not always, because this, even though this is still a pretty big ass knife, this is a bigger ass knife. But this blade is going to do more for you in the long run and maintain itself more than this blade. Now here's where it gets a little cranky. This guy right here is probably, I don't know, 30 bucks, 20 to 30 bucks, where this guy right here is probably like $1.40, somewhere in there, $1.20, I don't even know. But this one right here will last you for freaking ever. It looks good, and the value will maintain. I could sell this thing tomorrow for $5. I could sell this thing for almost what I bought it for. And if I hold on to it, which I am, I could sell it for more, which I won't, because this is mine. So let's go through some simple tests, and we'll give it a good, is it worth the money? Is it worth buying? All right, so let's do that. Let's get this going here. All right, so let's go through some water bottles. We will start with the big old jumbo Timber Rattler, the Ranch King Bowie, and I have no doubts that it sliced it in half, and it did. I'm not going to chase it down. The bottle's in half. It's separated. And now for the case. Do you see the difference? This thing went through and it stayed. That thing, when I sliced through this, it did go all the way through, so I'm not going to knock it for, you know, an inability to cut. It went all the way through, but the edge profile is so much better on that one that this, while it went through, it still wasn't, I don't know, honed in enough to where it's not going to push it. So when I hit it, it sliced, yeah, but it also dragged, and that drag caused it to fly away. One thing I forgot to mention is grip for grip. This one has, you know, bone, wood, and you know, brass pins and blah blah blah. It's full tank instruction shown and this and that, and you'd think, oh my gosh, from a distance this has got to be gorgeous, but that's about it from a distance. Up close, it's nice looking, but it's the fit and finish is so raw that it's hard to accept. But what really matters is the fit in the hand. This one fits my hands because I have 10-inch hands. If you do not have 10-inch hands, this is not going to fit your grip. This grip is very, very big. It's very, very fat. They didn't take the user into consideration. This one, however, did. The shape tapers. Then you have a nice stop here. So when your hand grabs it, it's going to squeeze on. Now, a guy with big hands like myself, you're going to get a whole lot of grip because your finger is going to come against the handguard and against the sweep out at the end here, against this pommel. And it is really going to hold your hand in there. If you have smaller hands, you know, if I take away my pinky, the grip is still fantastic. And that's taking away a full finger, you know, in hand size. And you can see where that is. It's still right there. So no matter what size hand you have, this knife right here is going to be a joy to use. Speaking of use, let's go use them. All right, I'm hoping that the sun isn't killing you guys back there and you can actually see what's happening. We got a nice big fat log here. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the timber rattler, and we're just going to, and you hear that sound? I'll tell you what, it's going to chop. Guarantee that. But I don't know how long I could chop for before these handles will loosen on me. I just don't know. But you don't know unless you try. And so far, the usage I've given it, I haven't had any issues with that. Now you can see it's gonna chop. This thing is a really, really good chopper. It's got good bite. It's solid. I mean, it's solid all the way through, really. But I mean, it's not a lot of effort to press through some wood here, which is nice. And the fact that it's really long gives it really, really fine swinging. The end of this knife is going to come down fast, and it's going to come down strong. One thing is you'll end up needing to sharpen this blade more often than the other one, just because of what it is, but it's all right. It works. Let's move on to the case. Let's flip this guy around here. So with the case, I don't know if you can hear the difference. Just the steel is so nice, and oh man, this thing is 2 inches shorter, but you would never know in the chopping. And look at the shine on this blade. No matter what I do to it, it's not going to scuff up. It's just insane, the coating. Now, it's just awesome, awesome, awesome. The thing bites in, it grabs, it takes to whatever task I give it. It's just a beast, beast, beast of a Bowie. Besides being gorgeous, which the other one looks good from a distance, this one looks good from a distance, this one looks good up close. That's the difference. This one looks good no matter where and how you have it. That's Reveille. I have to stand up and salute, so hold on there. Back on track. Look at how quick that was. So what I was saying is this thing is just awesome. The edge shows no sign of wear, none whatsoever. There's no dulling. If I wanted to, I can easily shave. I'm running out of hair here, but easily take off hairs. I mean, make nice bald spots. With the other one, let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna get anything. Let's see. Well, I got some dander, but I think I got a hair off of there. Let's see, I'm just running out of hair because I like to shave with these things and in these videos. And man, I'll tell you what, of all the times I've used this, I've never had to resharpen this knife. I've never taken it to a stone. There's hairs all over this thing. They just flew up. I've never had to, you know, do anything to this edge. This edge is immaculate. This tip is immaculate. Everything about this knife is immaculate. Just the grind alone. Let's see if you can see this. Look at how much edge there is there. Look at that, and it runs all the way through. That edge is gorgeous. Now, when we're talking about the edge, you've seen that. You've seen how thick that grind was for the edge, right? Look at this. You can barely see it. That's the edge. That's the difference right there. That edge on that case, look at all the way through. It changes a little bit. It gets higher and lower at some points. The edge on the case is so fine, and it's so deep and so big. Right here, I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but it's like starts to be an edge, then no edge, then edge again. It's like there's a little spot here where they didn't even grind out to the bottom. Just when it comes to professionalism, when it comes to doing it right, when it comes to making a product that you're proud of, the case makes a product that you can tell right away the people who make these go to work happy. They enjoy what they do. They must love what they do, because if they didn't love what they did, we would not have knives of this quality. We just wouldn't. This is the marksmanship of somebody who loves what they do. This is from a factory who stamps these things out 1,000 a minute. You know what I mean? It's just a huge, huge difference. This one, I believe, it's either, yeah, Pakistan. I was gonna say it was either China or Pakistan. I couldn't remember, but the care that goes into these, it just isn't there. You know what I mean? You don't have, you know, a small factory sitting in Pennsylvania like you do with this one of people who love their job. This is people who get paid to do something that they go and they have to show up and do, and they rattle off as many as they can, as quick as they can, and that's why the quality is where it is. I mean, gosh, it's really not even a contest. And you know, I was hoping that, you know, I would find a knife that would be more of a challenge. And I have one. I have a hen and rooster that will give this thing a run for its money. But as far as a Western Bowie, a Western fighting Bowie, this is literally the top of its game. This is just a great freaking knife. But it's only as great as it throws, so let's go throw it. All right, guys, so here we are at the throwing spot. Let's get some throwing in. All right, we're gonna go 5 yards, same place on each blade. So we're gonna go from the same distance. That's the case. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Knife down, knife down. All right, so let's try that one again. And there we go. So this one, being lighter, was just easier to throw. Great bite in there. Great bite in there. This one, you know, obviously throwing comes down to user error. I can't say this is a better throw because I did it in 1 turn. I did this one in 2 turns, so this one's not as good as this one. No, that was all me. What I can tell you about each throw, however, is how they feel and what I personally feel. And this one being lighter is just easier to control. This one, the reason I didn't do it in 1 shot is because I had to really find the balance because it's so long and so heavy. Would I be able to do it again? Probably no problem. Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, hold on a second, let's test it. Let's see if I can get a 2 in a row here. Yeah. So, I mean, it just comes down to, you know, finding the balance and getting used to it. This one I used so much that it didn't even, throwing this was just like breathing. I love this thing. This one I tolerate, you know. If I need to break something that needs to be chopped up and I don't want to have to worry about damaging something, I'll use this, because if I damage it, who cares? It's so cheap. I could buy a new one if I want. But it's just, you know, for the throw, which is better, it comes down to your personal preference. My personal preference is this, just because the weight distribution, it's just a really, really well-balanced knife. It feels good in all aspects to me. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy throwing this, because I absolutely do. I'll throw, I don't know, I'll throw an ostrich egg into a tree if I have to. You give me something to throw and I'm gonna throw it. So this one, I like throwing it, that's without a doubt. It just takes me longer to adapt to this knife than it does to this knife, just because weight. So no clear winner. I just like this one better in the throw. So let's go talk about them. I press stop. All right, guys, so here we have them in all their pointy glory. So the Timber Rattler Ranch King Bowie versus the Case XX Bowie, or XX Presentation Bowie. Is there a clear winner? Absolutely. That case is 10 times the knife all round, including sheath, than the Timber Rattler. The Timber Rattler has size over the case. And if you're looking for the bigger knife, then that's the knife you're looking for. If you're looking for the better knife, then you won't find one in this style better than that case. It is phenomenal. So the main question for you comes down to, I can get one that will still do the job but need more maintenance for around 30 bucks, or I can spend $100 more and do less maintenance on a knife that's going to be prettier. And your question should be, is it worth it? And literally, I mean, I can say for me, spending the extra money to get the better product, that's just, I mean, would I rather have a Corvette over a Yugo? Hell yeah. Will they both drive to Cumberland Farms? Sure they will. But, you know what I mean? It's, one of them's going to need to be pushed halfway there. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, quality over a lack of quality should speak for itself. And if you're a real knife buyer, or a real knife user, or a real knife collector, then you understand that sometimes paying more is absolutely worth it. You know, I can tell you that buying this $30 Bowie and going into the woods is going to chop down the same amount of trees as buying this, you know, $100+ Bowie. I can tell you that, and I won't be lying. That's the absolute truth. The problem is, you better carry a sharpener with you if you're carrying the timber, this Timber Rattler. If you're carrying the case, all you need to bring is that case. That's it. Just the knife is all you need, because it's going to get the job done 1,000 times before needing to be touched up, where this Timber Rattler is going to need to be touched up almost every time you use it. So it comes down to, do you want near perfection, or do you want a near perfect price? For me, I would take the case all day, every day over the Timber Rattler. I would buy 100 of these case blades over, you know, whatever amount I could get for the same amount of price for those other guys. It's just so much more worth it to me to have a great blade over a not so great blade that will still kind of get the job done. So you know, there you have it. There's your question. Is it worth the money? For me, and for what I'm going to tell you guys in my honest opinion, it is so worth the money to go with the case. So, I am Donnie B all day, and until next knife.